Hi, I'm Yeafe. Today I'm going to teach you how to use manga to learn any language. There are two parts to this video. The first part will be where I share my insights and the most effective way that I have personally found to learn languages. The second half of the video is basically the raw experiment where you can just see me work from the ground up until the finish line, and that's how I basically ended up with the first half of this video, if that makes sense. If that's interesting to you, then heat up your food, open Clip Studio Paint, turn on a game, whatever, because I'm going to tell you now in detail how to use manga to learn any language. Let's go. First thing you need to ask yourself is, what language do you want to learn? Depending on your answer, this tier list will let you know how easy it is to learn that language using manga. Easy to learn with manga. We have English, Japanese, French, Spanish. Difficult to learn with manga. German, Korean, everything else. You can tell which languages are easy to learn using manga based on two factors: accessibility and community size. The language that I wanted to learn more of is probably the same as you, Japanese. Since manga originates from Japan, that means getting access to Japanese manga and a community of people who like manga is very easy. The same thing goes for English and French. Those are the next two biggest manga markets in the world, so it will be very easy for you to find manga to read and friends to read it with. Make sense? Alright, let's continue on to the next point. The most effective way for learning languages is through high volume immersion. If you are new to learning a language, immersion is one of the most used words in all language learning communities, and it basically just means exposing yourself to your target language as if it was the only language available. For example, let's say you want to learn Japanese. Would watching anime in English dub be considered immersion? No, there's no Japanese. Would watching anime in English sub be considered immersion? Well, maybe, but as the kids love to say, there are no subtitles in Japan. Anyone who said that was lying, by the way. There's literally subtitles everywhere. True immersion in this example would be watching anime in Japanese without any subtitles and then using your brain to figure it out. It is difficult, but this is how you learned languages quickly when you were a child, and it is still the fastest way till date. There's one giant problem though, and that is the reason why some people get better results from their immersion than others: their level of vocabulary. If you had 1 week to learn a language and could only use one method to learn for that entire week, what method would give you the most results? If you wrote in Spanish for a week, would it make you better at speaking Spanish? Hell no. If you speak English for a week, would it make you better at reading English? No. The one task that makes you better at every area of language is learning the vocabulary. Even if you don't understand literally what is being said or what you are reading, if you know enough words, you can still understand and communicate. You basically just get the gist of things. But Efe, wait, how much vocabulary should I know before starting doing this high volume immersion thing? The truth is, bruv, the more you know, the merrier, but no matter when you start immersing, you are going to struggle like hell. So you might as well start sooner than later. If you want to know in a nutshell the best way to learn vocabulary, then it's basically by using a spaced repetition system like Anki, and start off by learning the top 2,000 most common vocab words. Links to both of these in the description. Everything after that is up to you, but if you do this for your target language, then you'll be able to not only use it, but understand it the fastest. Trust me. Next up, let's address the elephant that's in the room right now, which is reading manga. There are only two ways to immerse into a language, and those are either by listening to it or by reading it. That is it. This is where the problem comes in. If you decide to learn a language solely by reading, you will have a hard time listening to it because of how fast people speak. The obvious solution to this is to listen to it as well, right? Well, maybe, but it ultimately depends on your goals. I'll give you an example. If your goal is to read untranslated manga, then you must put all of your effort into reading practice and not listening practice. If your goal is to watch anime without subtitles, you must put all of your effort into listening practice and not reading practice. What I'm basically trying to say is that you will have a hard time becoming fluent in any language if you only read manga. Let me tell you a story. I had been learning Japanese on and off for about a year and wanted to get more serious and consistent with it, so I tried reading manga. This is exactly what happened. Number one, my vocabulary and my reading speed increased very quickly. Because reading is really just like memorizing shapes and patterns, the more words you see, the better you remember them. P.S. If you want recommendations on what to read for starters, try Yotsuba, Komiket Communicate, and most mainstream shonen titles like Demon Slayer. They have furigana in them, which is basically like a pronunciation guide for how to read. This is what that looks like. Number two, every other area of my Japanese got worse. When I would be watching anime, I noticed that the gains I got from reading did not translate to my ability to listen and understand. This is why I can tell you without a doubt that although reading makes you better at reading, don't let it be the only practice method you use to learn that language, because it's not enough. Okay, Efe, now I'm confused. Why am I reading manga then if it isn't going to teach me the language fully? Well, that's because you just love manga. If you're the type of person who would click on one of my videos knowing damn well I'm going to talk about manga, then you're probably the type of person who would wear something like this, which is brought to you by today's sponsor, Mon Diet. Mon Diet is a manga community where you can find challenges and activities to do with other people who like manga, just like this one. I will tell you with full confidence that Mon Diet is the best manga community I've ever been a part of to this date. Seriously. My favorite challenge so far is the Manga KMK challenge, which is in the read section. The person that I did the challenge with told me to rank Bakuman, Vinland Saga, and Vagabond, and bruh, it took us like an hour to come to a conclusion that made sense because I love those 3 manga. I would definitely check this out if you like to read, write, or draw manga and you just want to find people to do fun stuff with. Definitely go to the mangadiet.com right now. Once again, thank you Mon Diet for sponsoring this video, and let's get back to that video. Let's talk strategy. Because my only goal at the time was to read more manga, the downsides didn't bother me. Until one day I saw this video by Matt vs. Japan. I don't think the video exists anymore, but I do have it saved, and there was one method he talked about in that video that completely changed how I learned with manga.
So basically, the way that this works is you find a manga that also has an anime adaptation, and you read a few chapters of the manga in English, so you're reading the English translation of the manga, and then right afterwards, you go and watch the corresponding episodes of the anime in Japanese, and you watch it in Japanese with no subtitles at all, not even Japanese subtitles.
Long story short, when learning languages, the more you comprehend, the more you are able to absorb. In this video, he reveals a way to use manga not only to improve your reading ability, but also your listening ability subsequently. The method is as follows. Step 1, read a manga chapter in your native language. For me, that's English. Step 2, immediately watch an anime episode of the same series in your target language. For me, that was Japanese. That is it. Because you just read and understood it in your native language, when you immediately watch the episode in your target language, you would know exactly what is going on and what is being said, making it very easy to absorb the language you are trying to learn. Absolutely insane. It doesn't just end there though. As I teased at the beginning, the second half of this video shows me experimenting with this strategy where I ended up watching over 100 anime episodes without subtitles and over 200 chapters of manga. From that experiment, I learned how to make this strategy work effectively, and it is the biggest reason why I was able to survive in Japan on my own. No joke. I finished the experiment and I was on the plane to Japan the next day. Yeah, I'm not even lying. Here is a clip of me speaking Japanese in Japan for the first time. Kodomo toki ni takusan manga wo yomimashita. Mainichi. So yes, this for sure works. Here is my perfected version of this strategy. Step 1, read 7 chapters of a manga in your native language. Step 2, watch the anime episodes without subs until you read something you haven't seen in the manga. Step 3, test your comprehension by watching a new anime completely blind every 10 episodes to gauge your progress. The secret to why this worked so well for me is because I had fun doing it and I was consistent. This is the most important thing to take away from this video and language learning in general. If you are having fun, you will make more progress because it just feels good. So if this is something you want to try out yourself, then I would highly suggest doing so, but only if you are willing to track your progress. There is a model that I live by, and that is no tracking equals no accountability equals no progress. If you want to guarantee progress in anything in life, you have to keep track of it. The easiest way to keep track of yourself during this challenge for free is to go to Google Sheets, make a column for the date, how many episodes you watched, and how many chapters you read. That's it. This is what mine looked like. Oh, I'm sorry. Are you telling me that you can't even fill out a Google Sheet form each day and you want to learn a whole language? You're tweaking, bruh. That essentially wraps up all you need to know to do the experiment, but before I show it to you, here are some tips and tricks if you are going to try this out yourself. Number 1, slice of life and rom-com are the easiest genres for this challenge. They use the most common words that you will actually use in everyday life. Number 2, do not jump between series. Finish them one at a time. Please. The more of one series you watch, the better you get at understanding that series, how it sounds, and its context. Switching resets that progress. Number 3, mangaupdates.com. This website tells you where the anime starts and ends in correlation to the manga. This is very good when choosing a series to use for this challenge because some anime and manga are completely different, like Evangelion or Horimiya. If you know any other websites that are similar, leave a comment with them down below and help others out. Number 4, don't do this while exhausted. Key word here is exhausted. If you are tired, you can still immerse, but if you are drained, don't do any immersion because you won't be able to absorb anything. I felt the most sharp when I immersed first thing in the morning or just when I was happy. There are several other tips and insights I had during this experiment, but those are the most useful ones. You can see the rest by watching the second half of this video, which has the full experiment. Let's have a look at that right now. Alright guys, so this is the start of the challenge. As you can see, I already watched an episode completely in Japanese. before I came up with this idea, but I still wanted to write it down so that, I wanted to make everything make sense. So, what I wanted to do at the start, and by the way, I don't know how this is all going to turn out. If the video comes out, that means it was a success, but like the other video, the one shot in 1 month, you guys will see the perfect plan when the video comes out. But meanwhile, you're just gonna see how I got to that point. So I made a document. This is where I'm gonna track everything: anime name, the episode I watched, if I've seen the episode before, and then the manga chapters I read and the screenshots I've taken. So how I'm going to gauge my progress is I don't even know if this is a good idea or not, but I'm thinking, what if I ask ChatGPT to give me comprehension questions, okay, to see if I really understood. So for this first episode, well, not this, for this first episode since starting the list, I'm going to start this whole process. Like, I don't want these to be zero. I'm going to start the whole process with something I have never seen before, but I want to see. And that's Dungeon Meshi. Saw it on Netflix, like on the cover, and I'm like, well, perfect thing to start this challenge with. So I'm going to read maybe 5 chapters, depending on how long they are, maybe 3, then watch 1 episode, and then I'll come back, then when I come back, I'll generate this, so I don't like think of the questions, and then I guess we'll just see how I do, and then at the end, when we get to 120, we'll take another test with another anime that I have never seen before, so I can have no context. So let's go get delicious. How do I make YouTube videos, bro? Someone help. Alright guys, so I'm back. Had ChatGPT make this quiz. ChatGPT, such a good resource. Had my answers here, and as you can see, I got a 30%. So I got 3 out of 10. Now that doesn't mean I understood 30% of the episode. That just means out of the 10 questions that they gave me, I got 3 of them correct. Yeah, it's interesting. This anime definitely reminds me of Soso no Frieren, like a lot. Does anyone else relate? Let me know. But yeah, that was an interesting test. It's actually way more fun when I don't know what's going on, and I didn't know anything about this anime. And I think by the end, I'll see if I can find a better way to test out like how much I learned from just immersing in Japanese. And if I do, obviously you guys will see. So I will see you guys once I have watched 20 episodes of something. When I get to 20, then I'll come back, redo another quiz, something else. See you then. Oh yeah, I'm going to start reading first, okay? I'm going to read a couple of chapters of it, then go back and watch it, no subs. So these should go up. Screenshots goes up if I find something I like, and this is just going to go up. So starting now, yeah. Alright guys, so I'm back. It's 12:18. I work in the morning, but I wanted to make this because I just watched the 20th episode. Oh my goodness, I'm just realizing that's not the 20th episode, that's the 19th. But it doesn't matter. Just assume that I'm going to watch another one of the same anime. But as you can see, this is the one I'm watching, by the way. But as you can see, a lot has changed. A lot of updates have been made. I've learned a lot. I made this thing where I'm writing down things that I'm noticing, like notes, kind of. And going forward, it's going to look more like this, just so I won't have to read it all and like bore you to death. But quickly, I'll just read the notes that I have down. I wrote down that, 20 episodes deep, that this builds mindfulness, that the level of fatigue directly affects the comprehensibility and the motivation to, want to watch anime. Interest level greatly increases comprehensibility. Lots of random words and phrases starting to make sense by the 20th episode. I finally think I understand what kokoro means. And I'm going to confirm before we get off. But Anki would give significant gains while I'm unable to watch anime, but I'm not doing that for this challenge because I want to see specifically how much Japanese I can gain from just watching anime. But Anki is what I would do when the challenge is over. If I like the anime and manga enough, I will consume it, no questions asked. Yeah, every time, guys. If the anime is good enough, if you like something enough, bro, you will do it. That is what I do know. It's more fun when I'm keeping it to myself. I can't bring others with me. This is more of like a personal thing, but just like I have a tendency to want to share. Anytime I'm having a great time, I want to share it with others. But I think doing that makes me have less fun. So I guess I'm just gonna have to be more selfish because, like, this anime I'm watching, like, you guys will know by watching this video, but I'm not telling a single soul about any of the stuff I'm doing, really. And because when I've done it, I kind of expect a reaction out of them, even though I shouldn't, and that's just something I'm working on. But when I don't get like a reaction that's like supportive or, you know, like adds to the enjoyment that I'm having, even if it's just flat or it's just not up to where I'm at, you know, it kind of just makes it dull down. So I think I just need to spend more time doing things on my own. So yeah, that's probably also why you haven't seen me active much. But now I'm ranting. I'm going to, well, I guess I have one more episode to watch. But after that episode, I'll do a ChatGPT test, see what score I get, and then we'll be back. And by the way, real quick, if I get a higher or lower score, that doesn't mean I went up 10% in Japanese, obviously. Just keep that in mind, because it all varies. But it's just, we're just seeing if my comprehension and my Japanese listening and, I can't speak at this time. We're just seeing if everything's going up. And just based off of what happened while I was watching the most recent episode, bruh, I think it is. And actually, matter of fact, I'm gonna look up a word. If kokoro means mind, this is the best method for learning Japanese. Oh. Boys, I think we just beat the game. Alright guys, so I'm back. It's 3 in the morning. Unholy hour for sure. It's actually my birthday right now. I'm really tired. I did the test and I got a 20%, so even lower than the first time. And there's something that I noticed, and I'll talk about it more at the end recap, like, of the whole experiment. But what I wanted to tell you guys is testing yourself, like, after every 20 episodes, like how I was doing it, is inefficient and a waste of time, and it doesn't really actually tell you, like, give you a good understanding of if you've improved or not. So I won't be doing it going forward. Next time you'll see me is at the 40 episode mark. Made some updates to this sheet to make it make more sense. I'm going to do more updates along the way, but just wanted to give you guys a little quick update. Yeah, I'm tired. Don't try this out when you're tired. You won't get as much from it because you won't have the energy. But made a lot of life changes, so I'm gonna have a lot more time to actually progress in a lot of things that I've been slacking on. So sucks that I didn't get this, but I'm gonna stick to watching things in the same category, and I'll talk more about that in the first part of the video where you see the quote-unquote perfected plan, but not trying to talk too loud because obviously it's 3 a.m. I was gonna say happy birthday to myself, damn, but thank you to everyone who has wished me happy birthday and things like that. I appreciate you. I'll see you guys at 40 episodes to give you a quick update, and then 60, boom, 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 and then let's just finish this already. Alright guys, so we're back. As you can see, the stats have changed a bit. Got things color coded. a little bit of organization to help out with things. Just want to show you guys the reflection for this 40 episodes deep. And yeah, I highlighted the stuff that's really important. And at the end of the video, I will send a link to this full reflection with everything not crossed out, so you can read all the thoughts I was having while I was doing it. But to keep the video short and concise, I will only tell you guys the important stuff. So strengths and achievements that I got. I'm hearing words more clearly when I'm listening to Japanese music. That is a good thing. I can hear Japanese words and sentences in my head while I'm reading English manga. That is one I did not expect. I'm drawing for 15 minutes every 2 episodes so I can stay stimulated, because one of the problems that I was having, as you can see right here, well, right here actually, that I was not stimulated enough while watching episodes that I have already read. And it would often make me tired because I would just be looking at the screen and I'd be like, I already know what's going to happen, whatnot. And so yeah, I just started drawing in between that, and it's been working out pretty well for me. Another problem I've been having is jumping between too many series. As you can see here, I was watching the same series for a while, and I really was enjoying it, but I was like, well, maybe I should try other stuff. You know, I didn't want to get bored. I didn't want the video to be boring, for the sheet to be too boring, but I'm starting too many series like halfway. You know, I should have finished this. I'm going to finish the current anime I'm watching, and I'm just going to stay consistent. And stuff I crossed out is stuff I fixed, by the way. Things to improve on. Focusing on domains. If you don't know what a domain is, I explained it at the beginning, I hope. But just stuff that's in the same category. Purple stuff's like random, wacky, silly, willy anime. Red is shonen. And then orange-ish, peach, whatever, is slice of life. If you watch a lot of slice of life anime, then you'll gain a lot of knowledge that's applicable to that genre, if that makes sense. So if you watched, for example, bro, when I was watching Delicious in Dungeon, right, I kept hearing a bunch of words about like cooking and about like monsters and stuff, and I can't use any of that if I'm watching a slice of life. So it makes more sense to just stay in the same category. So that's what I'd focus on. Watching an episode right after reading is the best way to retain the comprehension. And then just having bullet points for this. I just want to make this look more neat. It's going to look way better by the next time you guys see the analysis. But those are just some things that I'm working on. And like I said before, you guys will see the full list at the end of the video. And if you guys are wondering why I record myself basically learning on the fly every time, it's because I want to show you guys that this is basically how it's done with everything. You really just have to throw yourself into it and then try and figure it out. And even me, myself, I have a hard time doing that with things that seem too far out of my reach. But every single time I do it, it works out. I don't know what to say. So if you're ever thinking about doing something and you don't know how, bruh, just try and you'll figure it out if you really want to. So yeah. See you guys. Actually, before I go, one question. Leave a comment right now without looking it up. Is Spain in South America or Europe, bruh? Don't look it up. Just comment your answer. I'll see y'all 20 episodes later. Alright guys, so I'm back. As you can see, a couple of things changed. Just added these so I don't lose track of how many screenshots I've taken and how many chapters I read. Loving this anime, quintessential quintuplets. I was going to start a different anime once I was done with this season, but it's just too dang good. And I think because I like it a lot, it'll help me acquire things faster. Here's my analysis. Strengths, I'm starting to understand what they're saying, but unable to translate it. That just means, like, if someone says, like, watashi wa yeaefe, right? Normally I would try and translate it to English in my brain before I moved on to the next sentence. But like now I'm just like subconsciously understanding what they're saying in Japanese. And I think that's a good thing. Something I noticed through these last 20 episodes. Weaknesses, just how much I'm watching in general. I need to improve that. I've been getting very distracted. Very, very distracted. And it's even annoying me a lot. So I think for this next 20, I'm going to try and get through this as fast as possible. It is the 12th today, 11:10 p.m. Got work tomorrow, but I'm just gonna lock in, just say no to everything to avoid distractions, as I put here. Like I said, guys, the full analysis will be in the description or wherever I decide to put it. But improvements and notes, slice of life and rom-coms the best starting genre in my opinion, just because it has a lot of Japanese that carries over between pretty much all episodes because they use regular words. Like when I was watching that freaking Dungeon Meshi, like they're they're not just talking about food, bruh. They're talking about like slimes and like all types of stuff. So it's hard to use that knowledge if I don't continue to get it. Like if I don't continue to hear the words, right? Then I'm just gonna forget, which is exactly why vocabulary knowledge is important. Because the more words you know, obviously, the more you'll be able to understand. Like even if you don't know the grammar, if you know all the words, you'll be like, dang, okay, this is probably what they were saying. So, but yeah, it's just crazy because you can really just gain better vocabulary knowledge from hearing it a lot. Because, bruh, Shobosha. Bruh, I will see y'all at 80. Ooh. This is actually really fun though. Alright guys, so as you can see, I have conquered the quintessential quintuplets. Great show. 10 out of 10 even. If you watched it, let me know what you thought. Speechless. Lots of reading, lots of screenshots. For this 20 episodes that I just finished, I'm tired. Okay, it's about to be 1 a.m. Listen, the thing that I did differently was I listened to audio only sometimes. So like when I'm in the car, I had the episode playing, but I couldn't see the episode. I was just imagining what was going on in my head as I heard them speaking. And I think this is still effective, especially if you can't sit in front of a screen and find time, which is one of the hurdles I had before. But yeah, I'm gonna start doing that whenever I can't watch episodes, I guess. So as you can see, I did my reflection again. Biggest thing is this mangaupdates.com website. Should have brought it up before, but on this website you literally can see let me pull it up actually. Okay, so as you can see on this website, you can literally see which chapter is for which season, like where it starts and where it ends. And this helped me out a lot in seeing if it was something worth watching. So I think the quintessential quintuplets in specific is a very good anime if you want to do this immersion challenge. For any language, they have multiple languages on Crunchyroll. But yeah, I wanted to let you guys know about that one. I think the important things to take away from this for me are that I should have taken breaks while I was watching this movie specifically. I just finished it before I made this video, this part, and like halfway through the movie, it was like 2.5 hours long, by the way. But halfway through it, bruh, I started getting tired, and I was starting to lose track of what they were saying, and I would try and catch up, and then blah blah blah. So yeah, I don't think I'm ready to sit through 2.5 hours of immersion and understand the whole thing yet. So taking breaks is important. Need to use all the notes that I wrote down here to make the next 20 episodes better. I didn't do that much with the last one. Like I did, like the passive listening one, but I want to optimize it more for these last two. What else? Yeah, having a daily cutoff amount might be worth it. It may be possible to extend the retention rate by not cramming immersion. Yeah, essentially just if I have a daily limit of watching like 5 episodes in a day, right? That means once I get to the 5th episode, I won't continue, and I can just sit and let the Japanese or whatever language you're learning sink into your head. Because let's say you watch that 2-hour movie, right? Like, if I watched it in chunks, I think I would have gotten more out of it thinking about it now, instead of just cramming it. But now I know. So gonna make some updates, gonna read through all of the notes that I have to see if I can optimize for this next checkpoint, and then I will see you guys at the next checkpoint. I think I'm gonna try a different color, as this is all a slice of life, as I mentioned before, these orange ones. So maybe I'll try a different genre for a bit, see how that goes, because I'm not ready for another slice of life or a rom-com after that, bruh. I gotta change the way I live after that, bruh. That was good, man. Yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying this video though. Hopefully I edited it well. I don't know, bruh. I'm so tired. See you at 100. Yeah. Yeah. All right, hello guys. It's been a while. Obviously, there's been a lot that's gone on in that time that I've been gone, and you'll find out about it later. But before I go into the update, the 100 episode analysis, I want to show you guys what it looks like when I'm finished. It usually doesn't look as pretty as this up here. I usually edit and make changes to all the stuff before I make the reflection. So that's what I'm going to do. But I just want to show you guys this to show you that, like, when you're doing systems like this or just anything, it does not have to be pretty. You can make it pretty later. It's more important. What is more important is whether or not you did what you were supposed to do. So I'm going to go make it pretty, and I'll come back and let you guys know my thoughts 100 episodes deep. All right, guys, so I'm back. As you can see, I laid everything out. Ooh, let me close this actually. As you can see, I laid everything out. This is how I organize my thoughts sometimes, and it helps me better prepare myself for what actually needs to be done. And I highly suggest that you do this, reflect in any way that you can, because then you can make changes to your progress. And now the chart looks like this. So yeah, you can see there is a couple changes, and obviously when you see the video, especially the first part, you will see the final product of the best way I found to do this challenge. But I only just found it now. So the final 20 episodes are going to be really good. And the biggest takeaway I would give you guys from the reflection is this, that it is really hard to jump back in to a structure once you fall out of it. So my suggestion is to just ride the wave as long as you can. So if you have momentum and you're like really immersing really well, just keep sticking to it until you hit a checkpoint at least. So like for me, it would be smart if I did it every day until I hit the next checkpoint. That would have made me do this faster, because I started on the 720. Like, it's almost gonna be 2 months that I did this challenge, and that's crazy. So yes. Oh, and yeah, one last thing. I'm going to Japan in 10 days. Okay, so you guys will not see this video until after I get back. But after this video comes out, I will release. You guys won't even believe it. So stay tuned for that. But I'm going to finish this challenge before I go, so that when I come back, I can edit it, put it out, and then just start working on the rollout. Yes. So yeah, I'll see you guys at the end. This is a crazy journey, but man, I'm so excited. Thank you guys so much for your support. See you at the end. And there you have it, guys. All 120 episodes are done. I read 289 chapters for this challenge, and I took 118 screenshots. Finished today, 9/11. Rest in peace to y'all. Uh, yeah. Um, I literally leave for Japan in the morning. So wanted to make sure I finished this. Finished it a little later, but as you know, like I've been busy, and that kind of segues into my overall impressions of this challenge, of this experiment. As you can see, the purple days are the days where I did everything right, like a perfect day, where I took a screenshot, I watched a new episode, I understood the episode, um, the whole 9 yards. There were a few of those days, which is good, and then the red days are like the worst days where I did everything wrong. And yeah, towards the end, as you can see, it's not very good, the stats, but these are real stats, my boys. Um, and it's probably going to look similar if you're in a similar situation as me, which leads into my final reflection. The most important thing that I wrote down is that this challenge is only for certain people. Now I'm just going to read this. I just typed it. So this is what I think about the challenge. It was fun for the most part, but it's not the best way to study if you have a busy life like me. There are more effective uses of time for me in particular. This would work well for people who love watching anime or content in general, but for a person who loves reading and self-directed study, the learning through anime method that I used for this experiment in particular is not a viable solution. And that really sums it up for me on this, guys. It really was fun. Like, and I really kind of like towards the middle-ish, like around here with all these greens, I think that's where I really was feeling like quintessential quintuplet arc. That was like peak learning, because first of all, I was reading so much, I was watching a lot. Like, look at this. And man, like I was picking up so much around that time, but you know, life and other things, excuses or whatever you want to call them, but for what I had going on in my life, trying to fit this in was tough, and that's how it ended up with me having it done literally before I'm leaving to go to Japan. So I think you should still try it out if you are one of the people that likes watching anime. Like, that's not me. Even after doing this challenge, like, I still don't really like it, bruh. Like, I have to stop myself from reading more chapters of manga because I'm enjoying it, and I'm like, oh wait, I have to go immerse in these episodes now that I already read, you know. So it wasn't hitting for me in particular. You definitely do get results, and if you are, like I said, one of the people that does like watching anime, I think you would really benefit from doing this challenge. And yeah, I guess that just about wraps up this demonstration. I don't even know what to say, guys. I've been working on this since 7:20, which is the first entry, and it finally feels good to have this checked off, because this has kind of been taking up a lot of space in my brain as well. Like, now that this is done, it's like, okay, wait, I'm actually going to Japan tomorrow. And I'm like, whoa. So, wow. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. This video will probably come out second. I'm thinking if I do end up recording anything in Japan, because I'm kind of debating whether I actually want to, because I don't know, I rather would just, you know, be in the moment and not swing around with my camera, whatever. But if I do make a Japan video or whatever, that will come out first, and then this video will follow it. So yeah, but hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope that you feel inspired to go and try it out yourselves. Maybe make a different iteration. If you have any experience with immersion learning in general, let me know in the comments what you think. But honestly, I'm also kind of glad to be done with this, just so I can do regular immersion now, because I've been watching, you know, some Japanese videos here and there, but I've been kind of avoiding a lot of Japanese content just for this challenge, so that I could, you know, only say that I took in Japanese from this challenge so that I could get a real gauge of my ability. Which, F8, aren't you supposed to be taking a test? Yes. You are so right. I should probably do that right now. Alright guys, so I'm back. I just watched the episode of this anime. I was scrolling down on Crunchyroll and randomly clicked on this. I'm not even lying. That might be the best I've ever understood one episode ever. I was focusing so hard. So take the results when I take the test with a grain of salt. But obviously, since I knew I was gonna be tested on this, I felt my face scrunched up from how hard I was trying to understand, and it actually felt like I understood Japanese, Like that was crazy. So I'm gonna have ChatGPT type up, make the quiz. Wait, what's the name of this John again? Shikamori is not just a cutie. I have ChatGPT make the quiz live. And then I will be back once I have answered these questions. And I'll let the questions play out so you guys can see them. Cool. Be back when I'm done. Well, I'm back from taking the test. About to hit send on these. These I don't know ones, like, I remember this happening. I just can't remember exactly what they said. And I guess that's just the caveat of taking tests in general. But let's do this. I'm guessing I got at least 5. 5 out of 10. That's stupid. Bruh said, how does Izumi introduce himself in the first episode? Bruh said Izumi. I almost don't even want to count that as wrong, but hey, bruh. See a couple corrects in there. 6 out of 10. 60%, guys. I started off, the first ever test I did was what? 30%? So I doubled my score. Look at that. And dang near, bro. Like, this should be right if you ask me. No way. I actually was. Yeah, I don't care. 60%, bro. Fine. That's what you want to give me. Fine. As you can see, guys, there's definitely results from this challenge. So yes, it was worth it. And that will do it for this video. I am going to finish preparing for my trip. Love y'all, boys. I'm going to Japan. What the heck? Bye. Well, that's it. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like on it and subscribe to the channel so you can see new videos. If you want to see more manga related videos, go to the Mon Diet YouTube channel or themangadiet.com. Either or, I'm there sometimes. The next video that will be coming out on this channel will be basically me showing you the results of this experiment by showing you the first time I went to Japan in detail. So if you want to see that, like I said, subscribe, turn notifications on. I'll see you there. Bye. I'm gonna keep this in for anyone who I've ever played VR chat with, or I've been on Discord VC with, and it's like, what noise is that you make? Like when I'm thinking, it's like this. I might delete that, bro. That's kind of cringe.